Hi everybody, my name is Patrick. Thanks to the host nation, to, of course, the event organizers and all the partners that they brought in. Chamath phones me up and says, "Chief," I said, "What? Can you speak?" Now that's funny right there. On what? Why the Indigenous Green Economy? My third process was, economy? What the heck is economy? Right? What's a green economy? Right? Let alone an Indigenous green economy. But one thing I do remember is that 4 things you need to live: air, food, water, shelter. Somebody along the way said, "But we need electricity." I'm not disagreeing. Whoops, don't touch that. Without foundational certainty in those 5 areas, your choices are fight, move, die, or innovate. It's going to be part of this theme. Hopefully you'll start seeing it, because if you're not, right, what are you going to do? Now, for Kanaka Bar, our history goes back about 8,000 years. But what I from what I understand, in Europe and these other places, creating stability in those areas allowed entire civilizations and societies to manifest. Indigenous people aren't any different, right? Somehow, 8,000 years ago, we established stability in those areas, and we established 69 villages. There are 15 communities that make up the nation today. Kanaka Bar is one of them. We're number 51. So what happened? Well, on about June 20th of 1808, some guy called Simon Fraser shows up, and this is our first contact. With contact comes change, and the first thing that happened is my nation is renamed the Couteau tribe, or the people of the knife, right? Shortly thereafterwards, somebody called the Hudson's Bay Company purchased the Northwest Company, and they're English. And the last thing the English want to do is use the French word, so we became the Thompson Indians. And until about the 80s, that's how we were known, as the Thompson Indians. What was funny, though, that the Couteau tribe and the Thompson Indians, you need to understand, the reason why you can say here in Canada, "How's it going, eh?" as opposed to "How y'all doing?" is the result of my community. We fought the Americans to a standstill starting in 1857 and 1858, and nobody knows about it. We're a British colony and now a British province, or a Canadian province, because my nation fought and died to make that happen. I told you I'm not here to tell you a sob story. I'm telling you here that we've got choices, right? Kanaka Bar's worked hard to be where we're at today. Because remember, you work or you die. Next. So what is our strategy? Showed you all the plans that we've done. Through membership engagement, we went back to the land. We figured out that the land can sustain us for 8,000 years. Maybe the land can sustain us for another 1,000 years. We're still here. The issue is, so is the federal government, so is the provincial government, so is the developers. No one's going away, right? So we created a simple vision statement, right? Self-sufficient, sustainable, and vibrant. We don't even know what that means. What am I doing? Right? I'm using the land and resources to live. Next. So I've got hydro projects, I've got solar projects, I've got wind projects, I've got farm projects, right? None of them are big. Next. Down the pipe, what are we doing? Same projects. We've learned over the last 30 years what's working, what's not working, and we're starting to scale it up. Next. Are you investing in agriculture? Are you investing in wind, sun, hydro? Right? Are you investing in Tim Hortons? Next. Water is the foundation. So I'm saying, one of those keys that you need, right? Get back to the land. It's there. It sustained you. This is the old intake that powered Lower Kanaka for about 50 or 60 years. It's still there. All we have to do is reactivate it. The problem is we're already producing more food than we can actually consume at the community. So why not sell it? See how it works? If you produce your own food, you don't have to worry about food shortages globally or regionally or globally. None of our people here did the things that we did. Our challenge today is, will you stop the insanity, right? $4.5 billion we invested in the pipeline opportunity. How much did they invest in the sustainable green economy? Don't know. We have a Minister of Agriculture that nobody knows. What do we value about agriculture then? Okay, just so you guys know, I don't know it either. I Google it. But I do know my provincial minister. This is our land and resources. Does consent exist? Right? That's a tough question for Canada that's coming up. Just in case Canada and / BC get it wrong, we're going to be okay. Next. It's not really innovative. The agriculture, how can it be? It's worked for 8,000 years. I'm not asking us to do anything innovative. I'm asking us to go back to the way we lived. If you don't have an alternative, what are you going to do? If the salmon is gone, what are you going to do? If you don't invest in the agricultural today, what are you going to do? We have an opportunity to do something different. Nobody seems to be doing it. Sacre bleu, I think that's French too, just badly pronounced. We can power our economy by generating our own electricity. So here's the situation. We guarantee all third-party developers negative return on investment. That would explain why there's no economic development in the Fraser Canyon. Why we created the economic development arm is because we can manage Kanaka Bar's resources to break-even point. We pay for the loans, we pay for the operating costs, we don't make any money. But I have 56 people working for me. They're wondering who's going to sign their checks on Friday. Because I'm down here. Right? We're the biggest employer in the Fraser Canyon as we speak. So, you know what? I'm just bragging a little bit. We have 56 people working for us, right? Where did the revenues come from? The renewable energy sector. We are in the age of consequences, right? It's an easy word to remember. Death by 1,000 cuts. Let's cut one more tree. Let's just do one more manufacturing. Let's just do one more pipeline, right? And yet, we've got greater frequency, duration, and intensity. You're all living it every day. Don't live in apathy and denial. It's there. There's what's happening. You already heard me say this, because you all know this. You can't eat money. And yet, colonization introduced a business case model. If you ain't making 8 to 14%, the opportunity cost is too high, and we shouldn't do it. And yet, here I am telling you that everything I'm designing is at break-even point. If I make 1%, whoa. Right? Think about that. It was never about making money. It was about giving people something to do. I have no suicide. I have no children in care. Right? How many communities can say that? What have we done differently since 1978? We've taken back who we are. An Indigenous green economy gives back the power of self-determination by breaking dependency. Now, that's a reason to go home and invest in something different. What happens if Kanaka Bar is wrong and we made it a better place for nothing? What happens if I'm right and we're food, energy, shelter? I can't help but produce surplus. When I first rolled this out, I was telling this lady, I think her name was Christy Clark, I said, hey lady, you want to help me build a toilet? The must stop, rest stop. Peeing and pooing is free. I don't know about charging for the electric vehicle charging station, but I can tell you this, there's one male toilet, there's one female toilet. If a bus of 72 people stop by, it's called a pinch point. If you can afford to still travel 12 years from now, stop at Kanaka Bar, we're selling t-shirts. I survived a conversation with the chief for $10. Start getting your communities ready for what's coming. Trust me, your ancestors chose your location because you had wind, water, land, sun, and your people are still there. You are the richest people I know. Go home. Do something amazing. Do something different. Get ready. The eternal flame of optimism is in the house. Somebody asked me, how can you stay lit when everybody's pissing on you? And the answer is easy. I have 6 of them, and 9 of them, and 1 under the way. 6 children, 9 grandchildren. I get up because everything I do is for them. There's never been for this. because that is a learned behavior. The Indigenous Green Economy, ladies and gentlemen, is about going back to what's worked. You don't need more. You just need stability and certainty. Through hard work and a little bit of foundational work today, you will be positioned for the environment and economy of tomorrow, right? It's been an honor and it's been a privilege to speak with you guys tonight. Go home, take what you've learned. Don't forget, right-click and steal. Wi-Fi works in the bathroom, right? If you want to watch the videos, just make some funny stuff. Watch the videos. Because if we can do it, so can you. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.